What if I told you that the lizard crawling across your wall isn't there by accident? That in Islam, even this small creature carries a spiritual message one most people ignore. The Prophet Muhammad spoke about this creature, the al-wazagh, and revealed something many Muslims today have forgotten. Some say it's a harmless visitor, but the truth lies deeper, in the realm of the unseen, where jinn, angels, and divine signs move silently around us. In this video, we'll uncover the prophetic teachings about lizards, how their sudden appearance might reflect spiritual imbalance or neglect, and how Islam teaches you to transform fear into faith. Because nothing, not even a small creature, enters your home without Allah's permission. So stay till the end. You'll learn the hidden wisdom behind this mysterious visitor, how to protect your home with dhikr and purity, and how to keep your space filled with divine peace instead of unseen disturbance. Because sometimes what crawls on your wall is not just a creature, it's a reminder from the Creator. In Islam, the lizard, particularly the desert species known as al-wazagh, carries a unique spiritual and historical significance. The Prophet Muhammad mentioned this creature in several authentic narrations, revealing an important lesson about awareness, purity, and the unseen. In Sahih Muslim, it is reported that the Prophet said, "Whoever kills a lizard with the first blow will have such and such reward from Allah." He explained that the wazagh was a creature that blew on the fire of Prophet Ibrahim when he was thrown into it by his people, attempting to intensify the flames. Because of this act, the lizard became known as a symbol of harm and mischief. This prophetic guidance isn't rooted in superstition. Rather, it reflects the moral awareness of creation. Some creatures, by their very nature, symbolize corruption or disturbance. Islam teaches that believers should be conscious of such signs, not to fear them, but to remain vigilant and spiritually clean. It's also significant that the Prophet emphasized intention and awareness, even in dealing with such small creatures. He did not advocate cruelty, but rather purposeful action, a reflection of Islam's balance between mercy and protection. So when a lizard appears in one's home, a Muslim should not panic or fall into myths. Instead, they should remember these hadiths as a reminder of spiritual mindfulness. Perhaps it's time to recite the Dhikr, purify the home, and strengthen one's connection with Allah. Thus, the lizard, though small, becomes a mirror of our awareness, a sign that even in the smallest events, Allah's wisdom and reminders surround us. In Islam, everything that happens in our environment carries meaning, not superstition, but spiritual reflection. When a lizard appears frequently inside one's home, it can serve as a subtle reminder of disorder, neglect, or weakened spiritual protection. While Islam does not promote baseless fear or myths, it teaches believers to observe the world through both physical and spiritual eyes. The lizard is often found in dark, untouched, or unclean corners, places of neglect. Spiritually, these spaces resemble the hearts that have forgotten dhikr, remembrance of Allah. Just as dirt and clutter attract insects and reptiles, heedlessness and neglect attract negative energy and the influence of shaitan. The Prophet Muhammad taught that shaitan dwells in filth and disorder, which is why he emphasized cleanliness as a form of worship and a barrier against unseen harm. When your home is left without Quran, recitation, cleanliness, or remembrance, it becomes spiritually dull, a place where peace is absent and disturbance thrives. Seeing a lizard in such a moment is not a curse, but a wake-up call. It's Allah's gentle reminder that something in your environment or your routine needs purification. By renewing your dhikr, cleaning your surroundings, and saying Bismillah in all that you do, you can transform that moment of discomfort into a spiritual awakening. So, when a lizard appears, don't react with fear. React with faith. Take it as a message to bring light where there is darkness, remembrance where there is neglect, and order where there is chaos. For every disturbance you face in your home may simply be Allah's way of calling you back to His protection. Islam teaches us that the world we see is only a small part of reality. Beyond what our eyes can perceive lies the realm of the unseen, where angels, jinn, and divine decrees operate by Allah's command, the Quran reminds us. Indeed, He and His tribe see you from where you do not see them. Surah Al-A'raf 7, 27. 37. This unseen world interacts with ours in subtle ways. Jinn, made from smokeless fire, share the earth with humans but dwell in places we often neglect, dark corners, abandoned areas, or impure spaces. Sometimes, certain creatures like lizards, ants, or geckos are more sensitive to these unseen presences and move according to the spiritual energy around them. That is why the appearance of a lizard in your home can occasionally indicate spiritual imbalance or a lack of protective remembrance. However, Islam cautions against falling into superstition or fear. The goal is awareness, not paranoia. When something unusual happens, like repeated appearances of certain creatures, persistent restlessness, or strange sounds, the believer turns not to fear, but to faith and protection through Quran and Dhikr. Reciting Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Baqarah, and the last two verses of Surah al-Baqarah drives away jinn and evil influences from the home. The Prophet said that shaitan flees from a house where Surah al-Baqarah is recited. Therefore, seeing a lizard should not make us fearful, it should make us mindful. It's a reminder that the unseen is real and that our greatest defense is not superstition, but spiritual discipline and remembrance of Allah, which illuminate our homes with divine light and protection. In Islam, cleanliness and dhikr, remembrance of Allah, are not just outward acts, they are shields that protect the believer's heart, home, and soul. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Cleanliness is half of faith." This hadith isn't only about physical purity, but also about spiritual hygiene, cleansing the heart of heedlessness and the home of negligence. When a lizard appears in the house, it can serve as a divine reminder to purify both spaces, the physical and the spiritual. Just as clutter and dirt attract insects and reptiles, spiritual neglect invites discomfort, stress, and negative energy. Islam teaches that angels love clean, fragrant, and organized places filled with dhikr, while shaitan and jinn are drawn to filth, darkness, and heedlessness. The Prophet gave us simple yet powerful means of protection. Before sleeping, he would recite Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Ikhlas, al-Falaq, and al-Na'is, then blow gently into his hands and wipe them over his body. He also said that whoever says Bismillah before closing a door, covering food, and turning off lights is protected from shaitan. These daily habits form a spiritual fortress. They keep your home filled with angels and light, repelling all forms of darkness, seen or unseen. So when a lizard enters your home, take it not as a curse, but as a spiritual nudge. Clean your surroundings, open the Quran, and fill your space with remembrance. Let every Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, and Allahu Akbar echo through your home. For every moment spent in Dhikr is a moment where Allah's mercy descends. And wherever His name is remembered sincerely, no darkness can dwell. Fear is a natural human reaction, especially when we face something we don't understand, like seeing a lizard appear suddenly in our home. But Islam teaches us not to let fear control our hearts. Instead, every moment of fear should be transformed into faith, a chance to return to Allah and strengthen our spiritual awareness. The Prophet Muhammad reminded us that nothing happens without Allah's permission. Every creature that moves, every sound in the night, every strange moment in our lives, all are under His command. The believer's heart finds peace in this truth. So, when a lizard or any unsettling sign appears, it is not a cause for panic, but a reminder. Allah is testing your awareness. Will you respond with fear or with remembrance? Fear weakens the heart, but dhikr remembers it. When you recite A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan irajim, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan, you immediately shift your energy from anxiety to assurance. because you've called upon the most powerful protector. Transforming fear into faith means training your heart to see every sign, even unsettling ones, as part of Allah's divine communication. It means saying, Ya Allah, if this is a reminder, help me return to you. So instead of fearing the lizard, take the moment to renew your iman and your connection with Allah. Clean your home, recite Quran, and fill your space with light. When Allah is remembered, fear vanishes and peace settles in. Because the truth is simple. The believer's home is never haunted by darkness when it is filled with the remembrance of the divine.